Greetings and salutations. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am J Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
Weezy, our producer of the show, is in the building. Say what's up, Weezy.
What's going on? What's cracking like, y'all?
How you doing,
Under
man?
the weather, but I'm here.
Yeah, I think the table's under the weather, but guess what?
We're going to fight through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I
gotta
almost
fight through
called
it.
out today, but I'm here.
You almost called out for sure. I can see that.
Took some sick time.
Yeah.
I almost called
Vacation crazy. Vacation crazy. We don't take no days off. Have you peeped that?
Yeah. Yeah, I peaked.
You peeped it?
Yeah, I peaked for sure.
You need a couple days off, Weezy.
Nah, we
Coach Locke can take some days off on you.
Let's go.
My bad.
You be laughing, man. I'm under the weather.
You're right. What we got on the menu today, Weezy?
Today we will discuss the 10 biggest rivals in college football.
Most definitely.
How you feel about that?
I feel real good about it, man. Rivalry week just
How you feel
passed.
about you? I want to talk about you.
Yeah, for sure. Please. Speaking of, best of the week, Jay. What you got for best of the week?
Oh, man, it was a good sports week this
For
week.
sure.
Good sports.
Intense sports week. For
Very
sure.
good. Thursday football. Got to see an instant classic on Friday.
Mhm.
UCF in South
I
Florida.
saw you tweeting about
Nah,
that.
instant classic.
Yeah.
Instant classic. Then,
Yeah.
OKC going to state. We know how that turned out.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It was a good week.
For sure. What about you, Weezy?
My best of the week was yesterday, man, seeing Vanderbilt knock out Tennessee. And
Yeah.
Both of them not going to a ball game, but
Right.
I like when Tennessee doesn't go to
That,
Yeah.
that was a bowl game, pretty
That
much.
was a bowl
yesterday.
game.
Yeah.
That was a ball game.
We beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Feel good.
We feel good.
Excited
Shout out to
already.
them. We beat the shit out of them.
Good name.
I had to.
Yeah.
Ah, Yoski, shout out to Yoski.
Yeah.
Yoski never done that.
We got one for the Heroes.
Oh.
Hey, I gotta put some bass in this shit. Y'all do that. For real. Not for real. I try to play. We did. We got one for the Heroes.
That's
We won like 82.
forever fun.
Yeah, we won like 82. We won like 82. My best of the week. It's tough for me to say.
Okay.
My best of the week is I watched LeBron James play full 4 quarters on Friday,
Yeah.
November the 24th.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, for sure. And in his 15th year, LeBron James is cold.
Clearly the best player in the league.
Now listen,
Clearly.
LeBron James cold.
Clearly.
And I don't give it. This is me saying I have to start giving him more credit than I give him because he can. 15 years,
He's still hooping.
and he's having last year had his best statistical season.
Yeah.
And for him to still look like that, and when he's
Man.
saying, "Hey, I feel like the best I've ever felt
Yeah.
in my whole career," he's not lying. MKG is a good defender.
Yeah.
Like that's what he does.
Yeah,
He's
keep real.
there to defend.
Yeah.
He played 37 minutes to defend LeBron James, and LeBron James did whatever the hell he wanted to
All game.
all game.
Whatever you want to do.
And I think he can do that whenever he wants to. And I think if year 15 he said, you know what, I don't really have to rely on certain things. I'm just gonna go and play.
Quietly. 7-game winning streak. Turned all that
Quiet.
shit
All of it around. Most of it. LeBron James is cold.
Yeah.
For sure, and I will. Cameraman, hold me to that. Start giving LeBron James more credit.
I'll hold you to it. I got you.
Yeah, I didn't ask you. Ask the
But
cameraman.
I got you.
I don't need you to do it. Cameraman, you got that job. Appreciate it, my brother. What about your worst of the week?
Like y'all, I got you on that one. Huh?
What about your worst?
My worst of the week, man, was Thanksgiving Day, man. I went to my mama's house,
Yeah.
and she told me she experimented with the mac and cheese.
Shit.
And I said, what? Oh, y'all did some experiment. I used a couple different cheeses. I said, listen, you don't do that.
I don't think you try that shit on,
Yeah,
on a
put
random.
That's a
that-
random Sunday.
Yeah, put that in
Yeah.
like experiment on a potato salad or something, but not the mac and cheese.
Not the mac and cheese.
It hurt me.
It hurt.
It hurt
So
me.
answer the question. How did the mac and cheese?
She won't
taste?
experiment no more.
Mm.
It hurt me though. It was good. It was it
But it
wasn't.
wasn't.
But it wasn't that mac
Yeah,
and cheese.
it wasn't like Thanksgiving mac and cheese.
So,
Yeah.
so mom's mac and cheese usually be cold.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Okay.
I didn't go back and eat it on Friday.
Ooh. How long do you do leftovers?
I'm done with it on Saturday.
Saturday from Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, from
That's
Thursday.
good. Saturday.
Yeah, I'm out of there Friday. After Friday,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like certain things after Friday.
Like
certain.
and y'all seen Plies thing on that?
Yeah, that's for sure. Most definitely.
Plies that you eat it after what? Sunday you got worms,
Yeah,
right?
no, for sure.
He said you got worms.
I need to play that right now.
Yeah.
Going to play. What about your worst of the week, Jeff?
Worst of the week is actually kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
Grandma was set me up for the okie doke.
Okay.
All week, she hit me with that. Man, show be nice. Somebody give me a TV
Yeah.
for Christmas and my birthday. Man, so got some good sales this week, so I had to get up on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Get up Electronic Express.
Yeah.
Got on the TV.
Shout out to Grand.
Call me all day Friday.
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Right. Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nah, it was rough, man.
For
Got
sure.
to celebrate. She good. That was my
Yeah.
worst of the week.
I wish I had a grandma that called like that, man. I know that was sad timing right there for me to say, but damn, man, that sucks, man. Yeah. Man, not for sure, man. Nah, for real, man, I do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're not growing up having your grand as your formidable life.
My brother full with
For
you.
sure. Pull up. I can get 2 grandmas.
You know that.
Yeah.
Grandma took care of the whole.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Yeah, that's true. I went baseline, dunked that thing, and she said, "Here, baby," and she brought me. It was Gatorade, Kool-Aid for the boys. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When the thing drunk some Kool-Aid?
Man, it's been a minute.
I had some Thanksgiving.
My mama still like Kool-Aid.
My mom used to listen. Shout out to Coach like no. My mom's Kool-Aid.
Top 5.
Man, and then she stopped. I was like, damn. But I guess it was just one of those things. It was just too much. But her Kool-Aid was fire.
Hey, how many times did Coach Lock eat on Thanksgiving?
Coach Lock, oh man, that's a good question. Coach Lock, dead ass. Nobody eats more than
I ain't
Coach
here for
Lock.
Coach Lock.
Not dead ass. Nobody eats more than Coach Lock.
Nah, man.
It's not even close.
I'm telling you, it's amazing to see Coach Lock eat.
I know, for real.
It's amazing.
It's fast.
My boy can go.
I dead ass seen him eat a double cheeseburger a home double cheeseburger. Dead ass less than a minute. Not bullshit. And it had bacon on it. Turkey bacon.
Especially if he hungry.
I'd be hungry.
If you hungry.
And if he gets hungry, he'll fight you. That's the only time if I want, you know what I'm saying?
I got one story that's on
Yeah.
in a minute. We was at his house.
Shout out to Coach Lock.
We got some seafood sensation. We watching the game and everything. And usually Coach Lock, he like to control the TV and stuff, right? He said, "Here, y'all take my control. I'm gonna eat." He didn't want nobody to bother him while he was eating that seafood. Hey, the record pace, man. My boy though.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Lock, man. Hey, for sure, fastest eater in the world. Most definitely. My worst of the week, man.
Worst of the week.
Hey, we go back to the worst of the week, man. Man, it's gonna be back some of D Rose, man. D Rose, man. It's the worst case of what could have been. This is worse than Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, we had to change that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
this is worse than Penny Hardaway. Worse than Green Hill.
Yeah.
But this is bad, man.
This decision was, I think, it was a year too late. He should have made the decision. He should have thought about this. I'm sure he did.
I think he did.
I'm sure he did.
And
But
he
this
probably
decision-
psyched himself up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a thought he should have had maybe a year ago.
Nah.
I don't think he's done. I just think he needs to be completely healthy.
I think he's checked out.
For sure. Mentally, yeah, for sure. And if you look at this kid, just like what you said, this summer he was like, I might not even do this shit no more. And then he psyched himself up.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go play one more time, kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, get a
Then
bag.
get a bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then it got to the point, got hurt.
But no,
Like, signed for $2 million. You know,
he was playing this year for a bag.
for sure.
But he's still only 28?
28, 29.
I say he sit out.
I don't
man.
think he's that old.
28, 29, something like that.
I think
know.
27.
Nah, he's 28, 29 for sure. We talked about it like one of the.
I think he sit out maybe
last week.
one solid. I think he won't play next year. And I think he'll get back in the swing. I think he'll miss it.
Was it Brandon Roy?
I think it's more Brandon Roy related. That was tough to watch too. But at least Brandon Roy had at least 5 years of D Rose. It was like a candle. It was like real, and just boom. And it's that the thing is, we'll never see that D Rose again, dog.
Nah, and that's what's hurting him because he doesn't have the type of game where he can do what Grant Hill did and have a 10+ year career after that, because he, Grant Hill changed the game, became a defender.
Yeah.
He always a defender. But, added more elements to his game. D Rose is just impact,
man,
explosiveness,
and I always look the same. You'd be like, and every time you jump, I'd be like, I don't, what I'm saying?
And you hold your breath.
Hold your breath every time.
I mean, that's rough because if you're 23, 25 years old, do you remember the old D Rose?
No.
Well,
You 25, you
he was in high school.
for sure.
He was in high school.
That's how short his run was, though. You do remember that.
But like they out of school now on social media, they don't remember like good D Rose.
Yeah, they do.
They remember.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
That's it.
That was
the little kids.
That was AAU saying I'm D Rose.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
D Rose was up, man. Hey, man, Godspeed, Derrick Rose. For sure.
What's the worst of the week,
It was
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Yeah, it's all good. It's all
Make
good.
sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and of course the SoundCloud page to catch up on the full archive of past episodes of FSP. Simply search Full Sport Press Podcast. Also, check out the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown and Spike Lee each and every Wednesday. The Thanksgiving 2017 episode is up at this moment. You guys have a chance to check it out.
I did, man. I did a great show, guys. They were talking about things that we're thankful for in regards to hip hop. You got something you're thankful for, Jeff?
In hip hop?
Yeah, hip hop.
444.
444 for sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Shout out to Spike Lee who's talking. He via text, he said to me that 444 is better than Magna Carta. It was better than it was better than Watch the Throne. That's what he said.
Yes, that's true, Jay. We know how you feel about Watch the Throne. We know how you feel about that. We know.
I can't help you on this because I don't know.
We
I can't help you on this. I can't help you on this.
It's the best.
Yeah, here it comes. Pause.
It's the best album that has came out within the last 20 years of hip hop, dude.
What?
Easy.
Yeah, Watch the Throne.
Watch the Throne. It
That
ain't
was
even close.
2011.
We'll go through
Yeah.
it after the show.
Yeah.
No,
We've
have.
already done that.
And it was fire. And he didn't like.
Did you know Watch the Throne is not better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
I mean, it's not even. It's just
That's a classic album. That's a
that's
classic album.
that's something to talk about.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking.
That might be the best
I
album.
can't go back
Okay,
and forth
okay.
with this.
Yeah.
The return of actual good music is what
That's true.
I'm
I like
very
that. I like
thankful
that. I like
for
that.
sure. It left us a solid 4 years ago, and it's back this
Give or
year.
take.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Anything you're thankful for hip hop?
Drake.
Drake, for sure.
Drake.
Anything Drake related.
Oh, man.
You know Drake,
That's my guy.
and you know, not to get off, Drake buys Birkin bags just to keep in his house. And he said the reason that he keeps them, which are right around $25,000, $30,000 a
Per
piece
bag.
per bag, he keeps them in the house just for his wife, who he's not married to, but eventually he's going to give them to her.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Huffy in the lottery.
She hit the lottery.
I know what
Come
you're
on,
saying. I know what you're saying.
Come on,
You're a
Drake.
clown. You think you're
Now that's some clown shit. Nobody going to buy no damn purses, but bags.
I mean, he ain't got a closet full of them.
He said he has a
He said
closet full of
them.
Birkin
He
bags.
probably lying.
Yeah,
My boy lies sometimes.
He's not lying.
But
He lies
is it
sometimes.
kind of players?
That's kind of
Kind
that's
of.
some simple shit.
It's borderline both.
Yeah, it's right in the
borderline-
middle.
It's right
but
here.
I'm just saying, how do you sleep at night and you go to the closet where it should be sneakers or condoms or whatever the case may be, and you have Birkin bags in there?
Shout out to Drake.
Yeah. The latest.
Shout out to the sneaker, the condom.
You got it. If you're Drake, you don't
You
have a
gotta
closet full
have-
of condoms.
easy.
For sure.
Yeah.
You should have a dispenser.
At
But
least a
they're
dispenser.
just like
A vending machine.
A vending machine full of condoms, for sure. The Ladies Room podcast, man. You can check out Rizzo and Anne Marie to find out what the ladies are really talking about in the Ladies Room. The latest episode, Oversharing on Social Media, is up. And you can catch up on past episodes and follow Ladies Room podcast on IG and Facebook. One time for Coach Locke.
Shout out to the ladies.
Shout out to the ladies.
out to the ladies.
Shout out to the ladies. Jeff, you got major love on the last episode of the Ladies Room podcast.
Appreciate that.
Speak to the ladies.
Thank y'all.
For sure.
Keep it simple. Not gonna
Keep-
go too
thank
far.
you.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
just appreciate that.
Thank you.
What up, ladies? What up,
Yeah,
man?
for sure. And that Weezy, they said
They
that you
hiding me.
simpled out and
Let
you
Weezy
got
have
the
that.
voiceover, allegedly, in Coach Locke's.
That just wasn't my thing.
That's not your thing.
That wasn't my thing.
Yo, what's your thing, Weezy?
They know what I do.
See what I'm saying? That's why I kept it simple. I knew we was
I
gonna
got
take
to
it.
go. You know, I can't. You know, I
I'm
can't
new
go.
here. I'm new here.
I go full
Yeah,
speed.
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Anne Marie and Rizzo. Shout out to the ladies.
I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Ooh, I had to say Rizzo. Let's give it a room.
Oh, man.
Shout out to the
Yeah, for
ladies.
sure. Fresh for Dummies, man. A self-help fashion podcast directly related to improving everyday fashion. You can catch our latest issue, the Black Friday release breakdown show, and it's directly for the culture. You can follow the show IG page at Fresh for Dummies. Just simply search Fresh for Dummies on all of your social media avenues.
I got a bone to pick with y'all on Fresh for Dummies.
Talk to me.
Yeah, y'all clap. Last pair of J's I bought,
Okay.
Oreo 5s.
Oreo 5s.
Y'all
Trash.
dog me.
Trash.
for Oreo 5s.
Trash, Jeff. Trash, Jeff. Trash.
I have not bought a pair of J's since then.
It's an all suede black shoe. Come on, man.
Hey, man, I thought they was...
You said the city trends.
Yeah, you said that.
I didn't say they was city trends. I
They're
didn't say
still in pristine condition in
Yeah,
the
for
box.
sure. And you know why?
that. Nigga do.
Trash, they trash, man. That's not a good
I
shoe.
was like,
Yeah,
when I first saw it, let me go and grab those.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, now they still that
Yeah, for sure.
You can read up. You can read up on your favorite FSP co-hosts. Purchase your FSP merchandise and catch up on past episodes from all the other shows previously mentioned on the network and much, much more. Just simply search www.realvillemedia.com. Tell a friend to support the real. OMG.
RMG, most definitely, man. Jeff, you up right now, man.
Let's do it.
You got 10 good wrestling seconds.
All
Ready
right.
to start the clock.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
WWE veteran and star of Guardians of the Galaxy, Dave Bautista, is rumored to want to make a full-time return to the square circle. Not quite sure why he wants to do that. His last run was trash, but he wants to come back. Also, last night, WWE returned to the Southern Wrestling Mecca, which is Greensboro, North Carolina, to bring back the old WCW marquee event, Starcade.
I remember Starcade.
Yeah, the dope card. Hope they release that footage, man.
For sure, man. Why did they release the footage? You got all of it.
It's called a house show.
Okay.
So what they do is like, you know how they came here, they'll be here, I think, Monday
Okay.
or Tuesday. Where they just have people come do the matches really don't count. I mean, real matches, but they don't record anything. But they named this one, which is weird. You know, it's called a house show. They named it Starcades. I thought they at least would release that footage.
Yeah, that's weird. See, that's how you lose your wrestling knowledge. Right? Doing just weird shit.
I mean,
that's,
that's part of the business, though. They do things like
they
that.
do stuff like that.
Yeah, they just have like different little calls. They travel around each week. So Monday, Tuesday's a live show. Then they do like stuff throughout the week.
You know what's been wrestling? I read this weekend. You know the guy who played for Baylor?
The
tight end?
Yeah, that
big dude, number 80. Like 200 pounds.
8 other people?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants to be a wrestler, WWE.
He'll pop. I thought you were talking about the guy that got the sexual assault.
Sean Oakland.
Yeah. That's a big dude. That dude like 6'7", about 280, but like 8% body fat. Crazy. Yeah. Oof. Hey. Fellas, question of the week.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Bills is back.
Bills is back. You saw it, dog. You cheated.
I knew you gonna say, guess what?
Bills is back.
Bills is back.
It's just two.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Pill form. Take the blue pill, and you restart your life at age 8 with all the knowledge that you currently have. Or take the red pill and jump to age 40, but you have $10 million in the bank. What do you do?
Start back age 8.
Yeah, you got to start off.
Start off.
How you know knowledge? You could start off.
Gambling at 10 years old.
No, this is the thing though. You can't use an almanac. This is just knowledge. Like, so what you're saying is...
I know who's going to win the Super Bowl.
No. Today, you're no longer 30 years old. You're 8. But you still have the knowledge of, hey, I probably need to invest my money in this or do stuff with this.
Yeah, it's just a do-over.
Okay, so I'm 8 in 2017.
Yeah, you're 8 in 2017.
Nah, let me drink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you have all the knowledge, like, okay, you know what to do with your life. You just I
ain't growing up in this age.
It's rough out here. Give me 40.
Yeah,
40 with 10.
Yeah.
40 with 10. What about you? You going to 8?
I don't know yet. I don't know now,
though. We don't know yet. We got to go on with the show.
I go 40 with 10.
40 with 10. Yeah, 40 with 10. Cameraman, you got a dog in the fight?
Nah,
Have you ever had a dog in the fight?
He gonna be 8. He gonna be 8.
All right. You gonna jump on your head, Paul? Yeah. Tweet us with questions during the show at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page. On the iTunes page, please rate and subscribe. And more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
To tell her friend.
To tell the smart friends, like I said last week, you can actually have a conversation with where you don't feel as if you're talking to the heater.
Yeah, tell 2 friends.
Definitely got to tell 2 friends.
At least 2.
Lucky man.
You know what I'm saying?
Jeff, shout out to you.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm just saying. Shout out to you. You got 2 friends. You know the revolution will be podcasting, man. Most definitely. Before we get started with the first half, we got a poll question for the people. Weezy.
Yes, sir.
They can't hear you.
This week's poll question is: Which perennial college football powerhouse has the most disappointing? Who had the most disappointing 2017 season?
Let's try one more time from the top. Weezy, you got a poll question for the people.
Which perennial college football powerhouse had the most disappointing season in 2017? Michigan, Wolverines, Florida State Seminoles, Florida Gators, Tennessee Volunteers.
Okay, so Florida State clearly was ranked
number 3,
and I had them. I literally told a lot of Florida State fans, if you guys don't win it this year, something wrong. Like I'm telling Duke fans, if you guys don't win it this year, something wrong.
Right.
What happened though was an injury, and the injury happened, and then after the injury happened, you lose a game or 2, and it's like, the season's over. Yeah, the bottom falls out. So I think they were dealt a bad hand. Now listen, Michigan though, no injuries.
But go ahead.
No injuries in a conference where they should compete at a high level, and they did not. And I also think that Jim Harbaugh is officially on the hot seat.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Not yet.
He's on the hot seat.
He ain't beat Ohio State yet.
He's not beat Ohio State yet. These are all his players.
Yeah.
These are none of Rich Rod. Was Rich Rod?
There's injuries in there. Nah, it's Brady Hope.
Brady Hope. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Listen, he said at least supposed to be competing at a really high level. Ohio State beat the hell out of him with the bad quarterback. Come on now.
Does he get a pass for not having a quarterback this year?
Yeah.
But this is his fault, Jeff.
Okay.
This is Jeff, you know you're not going to have a quarterback in 2017. At least try to get a transfer in that can at least compete. Try to get Jared Stidham. He could have at least competed and got him.
And he's supposed to be a quarterback coach too.
Come on. You're supposed to be the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Who you got in that fight? You know still, that's not going to help him next year, though.
Yeah, it is.
He can't play.
That's right.
Got set out of here.
That sucks.
Yeah. And you're talking about people need to hear who you just,
Oh, gosh. What's his name from Georgia? What's the backup name?
Jake Fromm is the starting quarterback.
No, the other guy. What's his name, Jay? I can't. I'm drawing a blank. Help me out. You're not gonna help me, really?
No.
That's crazy. You hurt the show doing that.
No, I'm not.
You're not gonna help me.
No.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, right.
You don't know his name?
Oh, right. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh.
Fuck it, let's go.
I got the Florida State Seminoles. I agree with what you're saying. But I still think with as much talent as we had at running back and on defense, that season is unexplained. You can't have a season like that.
Yeah, no.
I'm going with the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Get your back.
Yeah,
You got to.
Get your back.
They need Jacob Eason.
Oh, you didn't know his name?
I didn't.
Jacob Eason.
Why? Why you had the Florida Gators?
Because they're horrible. They didn't make the ball game. They're horrible. Horrible team. Horrible season this year.
We just.
Horrible season.
One more horrible season.
Horrible season.
We just had, Russ tell us this man. That's a good way to end the intro of the show. You ready to get started the first half, fellas?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
The first half is underway.
First half, man. How the sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week. Before we get started, I'm Jay Hope.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
I'm Weezy. What's going on?
What's going on, Weezy? Where can they catch you at on social media?
You would have grabbed it. Yeah. I'm at
Super.
FSP_Weezy. On IG.
What's your Twitter?
I don't know my Twitter.
That's disgusting. Here we go.
No,
we have a sports podcast, right? And people actually.
No, let's roll.
No, you're damn lie. People actually want to interact with us.
True.
And in turn, you tweet everyone. 2 weeks?
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You got to deal with some of these people I have to deal with.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Because Jay got a crew.
Oh, man.
Jay got a crew, boy.
Man, listen.
Hey.
I think it would be easier for you to do that if you could talk on Twitter rather than just spit.
You gonna say I can't spell?
So, can we talk?
But I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna start a fight on YouTube. For real. Y'all need to watch it episode. It might be a fight on YouTube.
It sure can be. It sure can be. Can we talk some college football?
Please. My goodness. Shit.
College football recap, week 13, man. Weezy, who you guys a winner or lose? We'll start with your winner first.
My winner is Auburn, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Auburn did that thing, man.
He made some money.
For sure, it made him some money. Still got another 2 years left for eligibility.
Yep. He needs to stay 4 years. He really don't have to.
I think he'll leave after next year. But do you think that Ohio State I'm going to Ohio State because that's my winner.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Seeing a backup quarterback get replaced, that's something that they're not used. Yeah, Cardale Jones did the same thing.
Yeah, 12 games.
Yeah, for sure. So seeing Dwayne Haskins come in, stepping in for JT Barrett, it wasn't anything new. Urban Meyer keeps those kids they're ready to play.
Stockpile.
Oh, man, for sure.
Stockpile.
Oh, my God.
What's that kid classified as?
He's a redshirt freshman? Yeah, redshirt freshman.
He's never going to play.
Not over that kid. Not over Tate Martell. But he needs to transfer. He gets him as much. Listen, Dwayne Haskins. Listen to me now. You get as much film as you can.
And go to Michigan.
Transfer your ass out of there because Tate Martell's playing 4 years.
Yeah. Go find Lane Kiffin. Whoever he is, go find Lane
Kiffin. For sure. What about your winner, Jeff?
My winner is all of us getting to see this chaos.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen right now.
Organized chaos.
This week and next week is pure chaos.
I agree.
Also, Jeff Cleo strikes again.
Yeah.
I called Auburn thing. You know what I mean? So,
You hot.
Yeah.
You're hot right now. You're up right now.
I'm up right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I love the chaos, though. I really do. Yeah,
you look for chaos.
Yeah.
Football, for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Weezy? What's your loser for the week?
My loser is Alabama, of course.
Yeah.
And then I got Miami, too.
Yeah, Miami's my loser, for sure. Jeff came in last 3 weeks saying that Miami was unbeatable.
I didn't say unbeatable.
What you said was you believe in Miami. You believe in Miami. Yeah, for sure.
Are they done?
No. They win against Clemson.
They got dominated, Jeff. And against a team that was 4-7.
10-point win?
They got dominated, Jeff. They got dominated.
They lost, or say they lost at the worst possible time. losing right now because it's fresh on people's mind, that might hurt them. But if they beat Clemson, all is well.
All is well, but you can't lose to a team that's 4-7, and I know you might have been looking ahead.
Yeah, most definitely.
And they could have been, but you have to play the games in front of you.
Yeah, I will say, taking the turnover chain and making it the L chain, hilarious. Social media never loses, man.
Yeah. Anybody else got a loser that they want to talk about?
My loser was Louisville as a team, allowing their quarterback to fight like that on the sideline by himself, though.
By himself.
And he's your guy. That's your guy. The reason why you're there.
Off the sideline.
Yeah. What about the people that are on the field?
People on the field. There's 11 people on the field.
Just left him over there by himself, man.
For sure, man. Help your quarterback out.
Help your quarterback.
But Lamar Jackson's back into the Heisman race.
He ain't gonna win it though.
No,
but he was set.
Numbers.
He was set for another Heisman.
Yeah,
Is he going to the league?
To play quarterback, I think he'll get a chance.
I think they
quarterback
have to
in the
give him a
league?
chance.
Yeah, they got to give him a chance. Yeah. With the success of Deshaun Watson
That's it.
and Tyrod Taylor.
Young Tyrod.
Tyrod
bounce back.
Shout out to Top 5. I'm trying to tell people about Top 5 Day. Continue to sleep on my boy, man. Speaking of sleeping, college football players of the week.
Uh-oh.
Who you got?
I got Drew Lock from Missouri.
Okay.
25 for 42. Oh, wow. 5 touchdowns. 448 yards.
Have yourself a day, Drew Lock.
Have yourself.
Sleeper in the draft.
Sleeper in the draft, Drew Lock.
I'm trying to tell you.
He killed our ass. He's throwing. He's throwing on us. What about you, Joe?
I got Quinn Flowers, the quarterback from South Florida.
Yeah, I got him too.
Game. Yeah, this is a game.
Yeah, for sure.
503 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 102 rushing yards, and a touchdown. That was instant class.
605 total yards, man.
Instant class.
605. He did his thing.
You better than Lamar Jackson?
No.
No, it's just that game. That game.
There's no defense. Yeah, and they lost though.
I know.
Yeah, he was doing his thing. Then he got in the end zone, did his thing one time. He finished. Yeah, he finished on it.
Literally, right?
Didn't he finish?
Yeah,
for sure. My college football player of the week, Rodney Anderson, Oklahoma running back, had 4 touchdowns in the first half. Ran for a total of 118 yards on 13 attempts, man.
Wow.
Second time I picked that kid for my player of the week. Coming back off of like an injury to the freshman, right?
Yeah.
Broke his leg.
Okay.
Second year, broke his neck. So 2 big catastrophic injuries. You come back to play at a high level. Shout out to Rodney Anderson.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to him.
For sure. FSP, man. Fantasy football. 2017 12-man league.
Hey.
Week 12. You can tell when Weezy having a good week.
He checking his phone.
Yeah, Weezy fell away. We'll start with me and you, Jeff.
Yeah. Game of the week.
Yeah, game of the week. 10-1.
Yeah.
Against Jeff 7-4 Winston's eye exam, and I'm up 102 to 75. Yeah. I'm projected to win 158 to 107.
You're not gonna say that.
Hey, he jumped out over that Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen.
That's my fault.
Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones. That Thursday jumped out on the Thursday.
Jumped out, man. Yeah, man, that was a tough sledding. Moving on, we got You Choose a Side, which is Weezy playing against Cam Newton's exposed Achilles, Reagan. And Weezy's up 160 to 83, and he's projected to win 174 to 89. So, moving on, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Parham, going against Coach Brown. Coach Brown decided to check in this week and actually play some fantasy football. Took a couple of weeks off, but he's back.
Took a sabbatical.
Yeah, took a couple of weeks off.
Shout out to Coach Brown, man.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Parham is up. Well, he's down right now, 121 to 113, and he's projected to lose 145 to 139. Alvin Kamara is having himself a day. So it's tough. It's tough. Dang, Parham. Shout out, I know you listen, man. Twin Royale with Cheese is playing D-Fish, Slippery Fish. Shout out to Sean Wash. Got these guys out here winning 122 to 86. So that's a projected win for Wash after coming off a 2-week snide, and his favorite football player, Darren McFadden, got cut without playing the game.
Yeah, he's August.
So shout out to him.
Yeah.
Clown. Shout out to AB, International AB, man.
International AB.
AB out here.
He's winning 60 to 48, and he's projected to win 93 to 80. Squeak needed this win. It ain't looking good. And last but not least, we got Wayne. Shout out to Coach Wayne. Listen, man. Coach Wayne jumped out on my brother, man. It's looking bad. It's looking like he's going to win 133 to 95. and that would be a 3-game losing streak for my brother.
You know what's
Could
crazy?
potentially
Yeah.
get him out of the playoffs.
Everybody who was 7-4, we all say the same. Because I'm projected to lose.
Yep.
Probably projected to lose. Yeah.
And squeaking.
Squeak and your brother.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I need to lose again.
One more week of losing.
I put up some good points this week. I'm gonna give somebody.
Yeah, man. Looking good for you, man. You have yourself a week, man. Have yourself a week, man.
I tried to. Man.
Yeah, for sure.
I tried to.
Yeah, most definitely.
Should have beat you last week.
Uh-oh.
But did you?
Nah, I didn't.
And it's just one of those things. Hey, I only play the games that's in front of me. Shout out to fantasy football, man.
Shit.
You know,
Speaking
spend
of-
week to week.
Speaking of what could have been,
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr.'s freshman season looks to be over. The projected college phenom is out for the next 3 to 4 months with a back injury, which basically means for the year.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean for his draft stock?
It means everything. It means everything.
Okay, that's both ends of the
Yeah, for
spectrum
sure.
right there.
It means everything. So this kid played 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Scored 1 bucket
Yeah.
his whole college career. And how the hell you get Marvin Bagley, who's in potentially National Player of the Year? You got DeAndre Ayton, who plays for Arizona, potentially top 3 pick. And then you have the man, the myth, the legend, who you laughed at, Luka Doncic.
Luka,
who's playing for Real Madrid, and Mo Bamba, who's playing in Texas.
Yeah.
How in the hell do you have a person with a resume of those 4 guys, and then you just put a guy that's coming off of L3 or 4 vertebrae?
Yeah.
And basically what that means is just some stress, more stress, in his middle part of his back. So you do that. It's more of a cleanup process.
Yeah.
It's hard, to have somebody say, nah, I'm going to go with him with the back pain.
And somebody will do it.
2 things.
Give me a top 10 pick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I feel like with the NBA, more so than anybody, that league drafts off potential more than anything.
For sure.
I mean, you look at somebody like, one for the hill, Marvin Williams, who didn't even start on his championship team.
Most definitely.
Got drafted as a lottery pick.
Kyrie Irving played 10
Kyrie
games.
Irving played 10 games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, he's probably MVP of the year league right now. You know what I mean, he's up there.
James Harden MVP right now.
I'm just saying he's in conversation.
Yeah,
He's in conversation. So, I mean, come on, Jay. You want to do it?
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Good God.
If somebody skips and not picks this guy before they pick DeAndre Ayton, before they pick Mo Bamba, they'll be a damn fool.
Oh, and then also, quick update. He just tweeted today, right before we started, that may not be out as long as we think. So he may be back this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
He didn't have no surgery or anything.
Yeah,
sure.
sure. Yeah, I just said.
Nah, well, he's done.
Yeah, he's not done. I'm telling you, it's cleanup. It's a cleanup situation.
In best case scenario.
Yeah, for sure. He'll be straight. Let's move on to the NBA.
Okay.
Manu Ball.
Oh, boy.
When Manu Ball retired from the NBA in 1995, he was allegedly 32 years old. At least that's what most people believe, because that was listed as bio at the time.
Yeah.
But according to a former college basketball coach who helped bring Ball to the United States in the 1980s, Ball may have been actually much, much, much older than that. He could have been playing at damn near 40 when he was playing college basketball. 40. Look how quiet he got. So, former Cleveland State coach Kevin Mackey gave an interview about his first experience with Manu Ball in the 80s. Ball, who never actually played at Cleveland State, Mackey was very instrumental in bringing him to the United States.
Okay.
He meant that he actually made up the date of his birth and said that Ball actually did not know how old he was at all. No clue. So he just came with the birthday on his own. They said they went in September. He's thinking, nah, I'll just pick October. It'll be cool. Just simple like that. So,
wow.
what he said was, and I quote, every athletic door is open at 19 years old. Every athletic door is closed when you're 35. So he was probably 40, 50 years old when he got to the NBA.
Wow.
Ball's last season in the NBA was in 1994-95, just 9 years after he arrived from Sudan. Thus, for him to have turned 50 at least in the season that he last played in, he would already have to have been 40 playing when he first met him. So, wow. That's insane. But if you look at Manu Ball and you see Jason Williams, it seems like Manu moved like an old man.
Yeah.
Like a man that's probably had some of his best years as past.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he still did his thing, but he was 7'6".
That's the thing that helps.
Yeah.
The argument.
Yeah.
Because he was a bigger, taller guy.
Thinner fella.
Thinner guy.
Yeah.
So you had to carry all of it around. It doesn't look natural.
Yeah, man.
Maybe.
I can see that, but
both now his son.
Now here's the question.
Yeah.
he's 26.
Who has 9 other children.
You know what I'm saying?
His son Bobo He just committed to play college basketball at the University of Oregon.
Here's the question.
His son is 18 years old.
He's 23.
I think he's 18, fellas.
I hope so.
I think he's 18.
Yeah, I mean.
I think he's 18. But what I do think that Manute Bol was 50 retiring at dead ass. I thought he retired at 49.
What's his name? Bobo?
Bo.
We don't call him Bobo. Bobo's 20. I mean, he's 18, right?
That's so disrespectful. That's that man name.
He 18.
He's 18.
But really, he could be 26 out here.
He's not 26.
Yeah, he could
No,
buy
he's
beer.
not 26. He can not buy beer. Shout out to Manute Bol,
He can
man.
buy beer Oregon for real.
Nah, for sure. Shout out to Manute
So
Bol.
we just gonna give Bol 18.
I'm going on record to say that Bobo's 18.
If
But you got a dog in the fight.
I don't want to wish that on the young man.
For sure.
Let's just keep it 18.
Okay, we're going to keep it
All
at
right,
18.
let's keep it with strange
If
NBA.
it's Pay Rapper Nelly, he's 28 out here.
That's it. That's it. He's got a point right there.
Hey, rapper.
If his favorite rapper's Nelly,
Hey, rapper's Lil Uzi Vert, dude.
okay.
He's still
If he know one too many Nelly songs, he's a rap for him.
It can be, yeah. He might know one more than he's supposed to know, for sure.
Exactly.
Bo.
Keep it in NBA.
Yeah.
Ray Allen has asked an Orange County, Florida court to throw out a case in which he is accused of stalking someone he met online. The retired NBA star says he is a victim of being catfished. Allen filed an emergency motion on Tuesday, one day after Brian Coleman told the court he is being stalked by the 10-time All-Star. How hard is Ray John Rondo laughing at this?
Oh, dude, he's him and KG somewhere smiling really, really hard. Ray Allen. Ray Allen. Pretty famous, man.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world pretty much knows who Ray Allen is. 75% of the world know, in the United States, in a high level, in the culture, know who Ray Allen is,
What's that?
right? Go to a bar. Go to a coffee shop.
But you know what this is?
Meet a real one.
Why is he online?
This is an older dude getting some DMs and he don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on. You shouldn't be. Come on, man. It baffles me every time I see a celebrity get catfished.
Yeah. I don't understand how they, in the days time of FaceTime,
Yeah.
photos.
He tripping out here.
Yeah. This is one of the rare instances when you're allowed to hate both the player
And the game. Because, yeah, man.
That's it. Just doesn't make any sense, man. He's talking about Ray.
He filed it because his family's getting involved.
Yeah, for sure, he filed it, but he came to a confidentiality agreement with Coleman.
Yeah, the dude, here's the thing.
And he violated that.
Yeah, because
For
Coleman
sure.
was going too far.
Yeah, he was going
He's
to post about his
posted-
wife.
Yeah, he's in his wife's restaurant
I didn't know that.
posting that he's in the restaurant. And he's saying he's showing that Ray's there and his wife is there, but they don't know who he is because they thought it was a woman.
He out here tripping out here.
Come on, Ray.
Come on, Ray. Nah, Ray.
Ray.
Come on, man. Now I get it.
Shuttlesworth, right?
Yeah, not for real, man.
Like, for real.
Nah, for real. That's Jesus. Like dead ass.
Come on, man.
You can't go out like this,
Nah,
man.
Nah.
Out of here, man.
Shout out to Ray John.
Shout to Rondo. Let's move on to the NFL. Now, you might not know who this is, but legendary musician Marvin Gaye, known as the Prince of Motown.
Hey.
Did you know that his connection with Detroit almost included a run with the Detroit Lions? Now, Marvin Gaye was frustrated with the music industry and everyday life stresses. He said to himself, man, I'm just going to quit everything, not just give up like Ray Allen. But what he said was he was going to try to do something different because the music industry, he was writing hits, wasn't getting credit for it.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot of things outside of the music and he wasn't getting paid for it. It's just stresses. There's a lot of stress. Yeah, for sure. You said, what? What's going on?
I see what you did. I see what you did.
Yeah, I see what you did. Yeah. So, Marvin Gaye decided to switch professions and attempt to join the NFL. He had two friends on the lines, Mel Farr and Lynn Barney, who helped him train. Now, Gaye, who was 6'4", gained 30 pounds to his frame, according to the video, and ultimately ran a 4.6 40.
You seen the video?
There is a video. There is a video. Yep. And it was ultimately, he was turned away by the Lions head coach. But he said training developed his mental to get back to music. And in turn, he, continued to have one of the more successful careers in our music history. So, can a music superstar leave the music industry to join the NFL?
The NFL?
No. The NBA?
Maybe.
No. Golf?
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Man,
Master P did it
Hey,
twice.
not for real.
He played.
You and Animal Brown, man, y'all gotta kill me with this Master P. Master P's dating a corpse right now. Dog. It's a lady that's a corpse that he's dating.
We're not talking about.
Why you gotta bring his personal life?
We're not talking about
That's what I'm
2017
saying.
person.
So
I'm trying to forget this is going on with Master P right now.
So you should, as you should.
But he did play for the Raptors and the Hornets.
Preseason.
Yes.
He never played in the NBA regular
So
season.
what? So what we're saying is he would have been a G League player right now. He would have been a G League.
We don't know
I
that.
think Marvin Gaye could have played preseason football.
No.
I think so.
Not 4'6".
I'm telling
Not 4'6".
Not 4'6". I'm telling you, it just depends on what position he was playing.
You see,
It's gonna be a plan.
football is the
Not
one.
cheating.
Football is that sport where you can't miss those years of college.
Nah.
Just going from high school, you kind of good at your high school team, don't mean you're gonna make it to the NFL.
And that's true, 100%.
Yeah. So nah. So give me somebody making the NBA before they make it to that.
Okay. What about you, Weezy? You think Marvin or just a person can play in the NFL or the NBA? Soccer.
Nah, hell no.
Nah, not soccer. Golf, for sure.
Not
Tony
really.
Romo, dead ass, can. Steph Curry could probably compete in a registered
But those are world class
PGA.
athletes. Though.
For
You're
sure.
talking about somebody coming from R&B.
Yeah, going back.
Yeah.
You're right. 100% true.
Let's keep it in the NFL.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagle defensive end Fletcher Cox
Mhm.
is being sued by a North Carolina man for allegedly breaking up his marriage. Joshua Jeffries alleges to TMZ that Cox slept with his wife when she was on a business trip to Pennsylvania in April. Cox is being sued for $25,000 for alienation of affection.
Mm-hmm. That's a good choice of words. That's exactly what it was. Mm-hmm. No, for real. Fletcher, listen. They said Fletcher was
He was wild.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah.
Hey, no,
Like,
listen.
for real.
No, for real, listen. They said Fletcher was sending
yeah.
John Brown
Yeah.
via Snapchat.
Yeah.
For sure. Get what he said in the text message.
Go
What?
ahead. Go ahead.
I want to get you pregnant.
Mm.
End quote. Quote again. I'm dead ass serious. End quote. And he circled back. Said,
Hey, Fletch.
I'm really serious. Said it 3 times. I mean, you really
He really wanted to shoot the club.
Shorty responds. And I quote, best period response period ever. Period. We make some beautiful babies.
She said that?
She did.
She got the dog.
Listen,
Joshua,
couple of things in the world.
Joshua Jeffries. I don't blame you, bro.
I don't blame you, bro. I need more than 25 grand now. He said his marriage completely, you know why?
It's over with.
Completely crumbled after that.
Yeah.
You know why?
She in the back.
No.
Nah, I'm gonna let you say this.
You know why?
Why?
You know why.
You know why.
You know why.
You can't go back.
You can't go back.
You can't go back.
Can't.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Mr. Jeffers came back in the room. He fell through that thing. You hear me?
Go to halftime. Go to halftime.
He jumped in there. He was like, wait a minute. Wait just a minute now.
What's going on here?
Wait, what's going on here now? Fletcher Cox? Literally? Fletcher Cox? Fletcher Cox? Come on, man.
Cue the damn halftime.
I'm just saying, man. Fletcher Cox 6'4", 298, man. Mr. Jeffers is a veteran
Yeah.
of the United States Army. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
She's on a business trip.
Man, it was business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shorty said, put your dad on the phone.
Push down the ball.
I ain't never
I ain't
coming. Ready to go, man. You start, man.
Little Josh, put your dad on the ball.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime. We have another installment of Coach Brown's 2-minute drill. Coach Brown's a former TSU tight end and the current defensive coordinator for Hillsborough High School in Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to the Burrows. Coach Brown will give an insight on hot topics from a former player and a current coach's perspective. Let's see what Coach Brown has to say this week.
Good evening. I am Coach Brown, and welcome to Coach Brown's 2-minute drill. Got a lot to talk about this evening. NCAA football, NCAA basketball. Let's start with football. We know that there's going to be a coaching carousel per se. All right. So who's going to take the Florida job? Who wants that job? It's one of the best jobs, the more attractive jobs in the nation. Who's going to get that job? Also, UT is open as well. Dan Mullen's name has been thrown out for that. Haven't heard any other names thrown out for the UT job, but another attractive job. Fan base is a little irate, to say the least. Who's going to get that job? Also, Texas A&M. Is Kevin Sumlin going to be fired if he's not fired already? Does he deserve to be fired? And more importantly, what I'm asking you guys, FSP, is Texas A&M's expectations for their football program too high? Because they've been winning 8 games a year. So they need 2 more. They need 10 games a year. I mean, I don't know. Did Kevin Sumlin do such a bad job? My thing is, you fired Kevin Sumlin. Who are you going to get? I've heard they want to make a run at Jimbo Fisher, but Jimbo Fisher to leave Florida State to go to Texas A&M? That's kind of hustling backwards, if you ask me. We're going to move on to the Iron Bowl. We all know Auburn beat Alabama. I wasn't as surprised as the Roll Tide fans out there. They weren't able to do that. Now my question to FSP, do they deserve to be in the top 4? I mean, think about it. Their only loss is to Auburn, who beat number 1 Georgia, and now they beat number 1 Alabama. So just because they're not in the SEC title game, are they still not one of the top 4 teams in the nation? What do you guys think? Georgia's meeting Auburn in the SEC title game. Definitely the winner of that game is going to get a spot in the top 4. So will there be 2 teams from the SEC in the top 4? It's going to be extremely tough. I'm not altogether sure about that. We're going to move on to the bomb of the week. We're staying in Tuscaloosa. The Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team, led by Avery Johnson, the Admiral, led by Avery Johnson, they had to finish their basketball game playing 3-on-5 because of a brawl where players left the bench. Now, usually I would say Avery Johnson, keep your players in line, keep them on the bench. But more importantly, that's your assistant coach's job. What the hell are they doing on the bench when kids are about to fly off the bench and go fight? What are they doing? Come on, man. Assistant coaches get in line, man. Avery Johnson got to do something about that. They might need to be reprimanded as well because it's their responsibility because they're controlling the bench. The head coach is up coaching. The assistant coaches are on the bench. But for that very reason, man, the coaching staff for the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team, you guys are the bomb of the week. Hey, I'm the coach. Coach Brown it is. Rue, and I'm gone.
And that is another installment of Coach Brown's 2-minute drill. First thing we'll talk about, Florida Gators. Hired Dan Mullen.
Hey, how you feel about that real talk?
Feel really good about it. Our former offensive coordinator. They recruited Tim Tebow. He also recruited Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. He also recruited Percy Harvin. He also recruited Joe Hayden.
That damn person.
He also recruited Reggie Nelson. Want me to keep going? My bad. So, yeah, we got Dan Mullen.
Did he recruit Takeo Spikes?
He didn't play for
Spikes?
Takeo Spikes played for Florida?
No, not the other Spikes.
Brandon
Spikes.
Brandon Spikes? Yeah. Takeo Spikes went to Auburn.
So did.
Yeah. Brandon Spikes recruited him too. Yeah. But yeah, so with Dan Mullen, I feel really good about it. He's coming home. His wife didn't like Starksville. Can't blame her. Shout out to my people in Starksville. But he's coming home. We're gonna keep probably Matt Corral because he has a pro style offense. Yeah, so you gotta look at this team though. Dude, our head coach was Urban Meyer. Our defensive coordinator was Charlie Strong. Our offensive coordinator was Dan Mullen. Yeah. Like, that's insane, man. Yeah, no. That's a good staff. So, you wonder why we had, a couple of good luck. I mean, I'm not worried about Vanderbilt.
No, you shouldn't.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm just saying he said good luck.
I'm just saying good luck, man.
Oh, you just saying good luck. You saying, you saw the condescending sound of good luck.
I got you.
Yeah,
Nobody saw that but you.
Yeah, for sure. Greg Schiano is allegedly going to become the head coach at the University of Tennessee. How you guys feel about that?
Dumb, stupid.
That's not the move they needed to make.
They needed a splash. That's not the splash.
What is the thought process behind it?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah.
I would dead ass bring Lane Kiffin back before.
Now you are right.
No, I would. That's how bad Greg Schiano is. He's bad. Now he did have the Michigan. Now he's Ohio State's defensive coordinator. He has them looking lights out. But
that's a bounce back job for him because he's failed
in the NFL.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I know.
man, that's not a good hire. Who you guys got dog in the fight in Texas A&M hire?
Nah.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, I don't think Jimbo leaves.
It's something to it though.
I think it's his agent though.
There's no reason our athletic director said, "Oh, he's gonna be with us for life." There's no reason he would say something crazy like that. You know what I mean? It's something to that.
You know, I just think his agent just throwing stuff out there,
around, yeah.
just to kind of make sure everybody's go ahead.
I think Mike Leach is gonna get a job too.
Mike Leach is not leaving from out there.
He might.
Unless it's going back to Texas. You know what I'm saying?
He might.
I think he'll go back to Texas.
Okay.
But I can't see him playing Texas A&M. And that's like Chip Kelly. Have yourself a day, Chip Kelly. You don't want to smoke.
Nah.
Chip Kelly did not want to smoke.
Well,
he's
terrified of it.
He's a
He knows
West Coast guy, and he knows he knows the players out there. He knows how to coach that type of player. That's not an SEC type of player. That's more of a finesse type of game they play out that way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, you get down there, win 7-8 games.
Yeah.
In Ohio,
He's gone in year one.
Gone.
Yeah.
So, in turn, you go win 7-8 games at UCLA,
Yeah.
you're there for the rest of your life.
I don't think his coaching style translates to the SEC.
I agree.
Yes,
I
that's
agree
all
100%.
yeah.
It's more of a Big 12,
Yeah.
Pac-12.
Pac-12 type of
Yeah, for sure. So, shout out to him. I know he didn't want to smoke. Will there be 2 SEC teams in the playoffs?
Yes.
Alabama and
Alabama will win the SEC championship.
Who gonna win the SEC championship?
For
Georgia.
I think Georgia win.
It's hard to beat
I
team twice.
don't think Alabama gonna beat them twice.
Yeah, for sure.
But talent-wise, flip the coin to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
You ready to talk about some college football rivalry?
Let's do that.
Let's go, man.
The second half is underway.
Second half, man. NCAA football, the 10 most intense rivalries in college football. Before we get started, I am Jay Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What's cracking?
What's happening, Weezy?
What's going on, man?
College football, man. You petitioned for this. You want to talk a little bit more college football. Even though this shit about over with, we still talking college football, baby. It's here. Now, when it comes to college sports, all teams are competing for that number 1 spot, Weezy. Number 1 spot right now, we just got taken down with Alabama. It's to be recognized as the best in their field. The only thing better than having a bottomless love we feel for our own team, which I feel a certain way about my team being 4-7. Your team is
4-7.
Your team's 5-6.
Yes.
No, my team is 5-6.
Your team's 5-6.
Yeah.
Y'all 5-6.
Yeah.
Man, have yourself a year.
Yeah. Got the best record at the table right now.
Yeah, for sure.
We play the Stamp Silver.
It's gonna make y'all boys with us.
He's gonna make us bowl in us when we just shot. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But having our own team associated to beating a bitter rival is something. It's nothing like beating
Nothing like that.
UT, man.
Yeah.
I love. Listen, we beat UT 11 years in a row, and I loved every damn year of it.
As you should.
And they got us last year.
Yeah.
Circle back. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Sure. But perhaps the teams are from the same area of the country, or they went head to head several same championships. There are a multitude of reasons which a rivalry will start. We'll talk about those, but there is no more. It's not a thing. It's more enjoyable than seeing that team lose that you hate. FSP, we compiled a rundown of the top 10 or 11 most intense college football rivalries. And here are our rules. You can only have one major rivalry. So that means, for example, I hate Florida State, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we couldn't use Florida State in Florida.
Yeah.
Or Florida State not have Miami. So
Right.
one team can only have one major rivalry.
Yeah.
Alabama versus Tennessee can't have it.
Yeah.
Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Bedlam. We bet on Bedlam. I won. Can I get paid?
Sure.
You say that every week.
Sure.
Like a penny with a hole in it. For sure, it's dry. The huge rivalry games, but there can only be one.
Yeah.
We left out a couple.
Yeah.
Cal Stanford. Oregon versus Oregon State.
Solid.
Kentucky versus Louisville, which has picked up the steam here lately.
Yeah. Got a little violent.
For sure. Yeah, most definitely. Stanford versus Notre Dame. So those guys didn't make the list, but we'll start off with, in no particular order, Army versus Navy.
Oh.
Last year, Army won 21-17.
Wow. First time in a long time.
Yeah, for sure. This year they're scheduled to play on December the 9th.
Yes.
Now the last 10, Navy has won 9.
Yeah.
And the overall Navy leads 60-50 and 7 ties. Army versus, have you ever watched the Army versus Navy game?
I always watch. I try to watch it every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good football.
boring.
It's
boring.
inspired football.
I'm telling you, as national pride goes, no rivalry touches Army
Yeah.
Navy for sure.
I mean, all the guys in the peacoats.
Yeah. No, it's serious.
It's serious.
It's serious for sure.
Not good football.
Both of them are the offense where the defense has to think. You can't just go off the athletic ability. You have to think.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
shit,
for
like
sure.
shit.
It's an intense game.
Yeah.
They played their first game in 1890.
Yeah.
And going into both 1944 and 1945 games, Army and Navy were both ranked number 1 and number 2 respectively. Did not know that. Instant replay made its debut in the 1963 Army versus
It's a
Navy
big
game.
game.
That is, for sure. The Cadets, they broke a 14-game losing skid in the rivalry with a thrilling victory in 2016. So for the first time since 2002, Navy comes into the game looking for a response.
I remember that game.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Following each game, both players sing each other's alma maters. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Don't think I'll be able to do that one.
No.
Too intense, I'll be, you know.
But you got
And it's a part of the.
this is
Yeah.
above football.
For sure.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what
for
I
the
mean?
country.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And the winning team joins the losing team and sings facing the losing team's students.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then the losing team joins the victors on their side of the field and sings the winner's alma mater to its students.
And they show this the whole, like
Show
they show it on
the
TV. They
whole
show the whole thing on TV.
Show mutual respect and solidarity.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Army Navy tradition.
Shout out to the Army and Navy.
Watching it this year for sure.
I'm gonna watch it too.
Yeah.
If you had to do boot camp, what you do? Army and Navy.
I'll be doing the Marines.
That's even really.
But you,
You that guy.
yeah, I'm
you-
C.
Yeah,
C.
kill it.
Yeah.
A or B.
Yeah,
C.
C. Give me C. Now, if I got to go Army Navy, I would do Navy. Though. I do the Navy. What about you?
Nah, I ain't getting no water.
You get the water. I don't really like the
Yeah,
water.
let's
neither.
go, let's
Know
go.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The water rough.
Water's raw.
Yeah.
Can you swim with?
Yeah, I can swim.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why you look at me like, this is a solid question? You're African American man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got a low percentage. You
Yeah.
got a low percentage of swimmers. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
African Americans have a
I
low
got a
percentage.
homeboy that can't swim.
You have a lot of homeboys that have
They told you that.
Yeah, for sure.
We in the pool. We ain't swimming.
Nah, we in the pool.
We in the pool. We definitely
ain't swimming.
Yeah, we ain't
For
swimming.
sure. Move on. Most definitely. And Weez, you push for this one. Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Clean old-fashioned hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like each other.
That's the name of the rivalry.
Yeah.
Clean old-fashioned hate.
Yeah.
This year, Georgia won 38-7.
Yeah.
Last year, Georgia Tech won 28-27.
Yeah.
For the last 10, Georgia's 9 of their last 10. And overall, Georgia's up 65-41 5 times.
Last 3 years, it's been a 10-point game.
Mm,
Close game.
close game,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech is when you think of Georgia Tech, you don't think of football. When I think of Georgia Tech, I think about Kenny Anderson, Dennis Scott, Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
Who else went there? Just Stephon Marbury.
Stephon Marbury.
Yeah, I don't think of football.
I
I do think of Joe Hamilton though.
Joe Hamilton.
I'm really sure on that. I think of Georgia Tech. I think of
Kevin
Fitzgerald,
Johnson.
Calvin Johnson.
Fitzgerald didn't go there.
Yes, he did.
Whatever you want to bet.
He went to Pittsburgh. He sure did.
Yeah, whatever you want to bet.
No, I'm
But
talking
Demaryius
about-
Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
He went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
Nah, that's all right though. You
Yeah.
jumping out there.
You jumping out there. Yeah, that's when you probably should write shit down.
No. Yeah, but my professor told me this. My professor told me this.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Say it with confidence, son.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
believe you.
And every week, he confidently says something wrong. So me too, though. I say a lot of wrong shit too.
Nah, I just-
We all do. Yeah, for sure.
Just say it with confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes we just gonna go with it.
Yeah, for sure. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets first met on the football field in 1893. And I think they have the best, top 2, 3 names. Clean old
Clean old-fashioned hate is
That's pretty dope. Yeah. The school separated by 70 miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I call it the Egg Bowl?
We'll get there.
We're not even there
Yeah,
yet.
we'll get there though. I mean, but it's a good question. Really good question. Georgia holds a significant lead in all-time record between the two teams, and this is what I didn't know: Georgia Tech's won a national championship in football.
They had like 40.
42.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, well, Georgia got one in 42 and 80.
Yeah.
But Georgia Tech got one in 1917.
Okay.
Way,
Long time ago.
Yeah, it was like,
Ooh, that's a long time ago. Yeah, no, for sure. If you had the choice to go between these two teams to play football, where would you go?
Nah, come on, it's a tough one.
But
That's not even a tough one.
no, that's what I'm saying.
What would
You got to
go
thinking
for?
about Calvin Johnson, 8 there. Demaryius Thomas, 8 there.
Yeah.
Joe Hamilton was a really good college player.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't do Georgia Tech like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
We still going to Georgia though, right?
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just talking about it. But
I think not being able to put two teams on there hurt Georgia because that should be Georgia, Florida, right?
no, I that's the biggest cocktail party in the world.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not, but like I told him, the Georgia fans don't hate each other. They don't hate each other.
Yeah, you can have a rivalry and not. Like Army Navy don't hate each other.
Yeah, but it's all right. Like y'all hate Florida, right?
We hate Florida and Miami.
And
Miami a little more than Florida.
Florida, yeah. For sure.
That's just like putting y'all in there with Clemson. You don't hate Clemson, do you?
Hate? Yeah, because it's the ACC stuff.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to, Weezy's saying is, who do you hate more, Tennessee or Georgia?
Yeah.
And we definitely hate Tennessee.
No, I respect that.
And so, but Georgia Tech, you got to think about it too now. They won a national championship in 1990 in football, yo.
They right there with Tennessee.
Yeah, I know. You right about that?
You know what I'm
Tennessee
saying?
been done in 20 years.
That's dude. So in turn,
Shout out to my ball.
4 national titles: 1917, 1928, 1952. They've won more national titles than Georgia.
Ooh, I mean, it's true.
So
They're a little more known for their academics now.
for sure, yeah. But Georgia Tech has a replica of bulldogs in their urinals, so you pee on the dogs in the restroom. That's pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. And Georgia Tech players may not ever wear red, ever.
That's funny.
That makes sense. Yeah. But Mark Richt, he owned Georgia Tech. He had a 13-2 record over 15 seasons and closed with a 13-7 win last season. And if you look at it, you'll say Kirby Smart can't fall 0-2. He didn't. Tied it up. Got it going. But yeah, Georgia Tech, man. Good old, clean old-fashioned hate.
Clean old-fashioned hate.
For sure. Moving on to Ole Miss versus Mississippi State.
Egg Bowl.
The Egg Bowl. And this year, Ole Miss won 31-28. Last year, Mississippi State won 55-20. Out of the last 10, Mississippi State is 5, Ole Miss is 5. And Ole Miss is up 64-44 and 6. Now, Weezy, you asked about the Egg Bowl.
Uh-oh.
It has been known, of course, the official battle for the Golden Egg. It's the annual game between Ole Miss and Mississippi State. They play for a Golden Egg. Now, what the Golden Egg stands for, I don't know, for sure. But I know, it's the Golden Egg. Somebody has a axe. Yeah, but the actual Golden Egg, that's the trophy that they play for. Started in 1901.
Long ride.
Me being an African American man could not go to any of these universities.
Nah, it would be
Couldn't
rough.
do it.
It'd be rough.
It'd
be rough.
Man.
You'd be rough on them back streets.
Man.
I stayed in my dorm room,
For sure.
going to practice, and back to my dorm room.
Man. And I get
Class,
it.
back to my dorm room.
I just could not see myself, going to any of these great universities.
Yeah.
But being an African American man, it would be tough. I would go to Mississippi Valley State before I go to Mississippi.
Of course you would.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, this is an SEC school. You get some of the best gear, some of the best treatment.
Yeah.
But I just,
Rebels.
for sure. I couldn't do that one, man. Hugh Freeze, he heated up this Egg Bowl with Mississippi State coach and our current coach, Dan Mullen.
Shout out to Dan Mullen.
And on the field, did you see Nick Fitzgerald break his leg?
I seen that.
That was tough, man. He broke his foot. That was tough. He said he's going to be a clean bill of health.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, man. I just couldn't. Whew. Mississippi State, though, Ole Miss, man. The Egg Bowl. Let's move on.
Okay.
Penn State versus Pitt.
It's underrated one right here.
James Franklin cranked this one up.
Cranked it up, man. This year, Penn State won 33-14. Last meeting was Pittsburgh winning 42-39. The last 10, Penn State's won 9 of the last 10 for sure.
Yeah.
And overall, Penn State's up 50-43 overall.
Yeah.
And the game started in 1893. Now, Penn State in its prime, Joe Paterno.
Joe Pa.
Who was Kajana Carter was the running back there.
Kerry
Kerry Collins was the
Kerry
quarterback
Collins,
there.
quarterback,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's my guy name that played middle
You
linebacker?
said Kajana
Kajana Carter, dog.
Yeah.
Ooh, he was a beast on one of those games.
Yeah.
But the two schools officially claimed 11 national titles.
Yeah.
And under the Indian lines, of course, they won 2 under Joe Paterno. Probably take away a couple of those in between that.
Yeah, sooner or later, right?
Yeah, for sure. 12 players, Pro Football Hall of Famers. Of course, Dan Marino, Tony Dorsett, Mike Ditka, and on Penn State, the most notable person who's in canon is Franco Harris.
Franco.
Yeah. Now, the series took a hiatus in 1992, in their first meeting since 2000. The two in-state rivals picked up where they left off, bidding in on both. But this is back, like you said, James Franklin. Can't win big games. Lost out on this kid's Heisman, not using him the right way. Clearly, if there was a halfway Heisman, we all picked Saquon Barkley.
At one point.
I picked Saquon Barkley to be the first pick in the NFL draft halfway.
You hopped all the way out there.
God went all the way with
He just fell off.
That's
The league caught up to it.
for sure.
Enough tape was out there.
I'm telling you.
So, he's still going to be a high draft pick, though.
Easy.
I don't think he's better than
Top 10. Better than who?
Nick Chubb.
He been said, but he's sticking with his guns.
You stick with that, right? This is the thing that's going to hurt Nick Chubb. 2 big injuries.
He bounced back. What
And I get that. He looks great. Pause. But what I'm saying, Nick Chubb, you cannot go Saquon Barkley. You have Nick Chubb here, Saquon Barkley here. No injuries, clean bill of health, and then you got Nick Chubb, 2 major knee injuries.
What's that?
Whole leg went south. He was going north. Remember that.
Yeah,
It's
no.
tough, man.
No need to bring that back up.
For sure, my bad. Let's move on to Clemson versus South Carolina. This year, Clemson won 34-10. Last year, Clemson won 56-7. The last 10, Clemson won 6 of the last 4, and Clemson is up 68-42. This is a bitter rivalry.
Yeah,
though.
no,
Like
for real.
in 1952, dude, there's a state legislator that mandated the game happen every year for the duration of the schools being open. So this will never stop. This is bitter. This is one of the more bitter ones that we're talking about here.
Yeah, the guy, I saw a guy on social media the other day. He had on a Beat Clemson shirt. He was in South Carolina colors, but he said, "This is me trying to explain what my shirt says to Clemson fans." Said he can't read. I said, "That's slow down." That's
low controlling right there. No, for sure. Dude, in 1962, the game was mandated to be played Thanksgiving weekend, so the families can argue between 2 teams.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's serious, man. I mean, there's some serious shit going on.
Yeah, no, for real.
No, for sure. Clemson won the last 3 meetings, of course, previously dropping 5 before Dabo Swinney
Dabo
got in. And then Charlie Whitehurst is the only starting quarterback to lead a team to 4 wins in the history of the series. Of course, Deshaun Watson would have done that if he would stay for his senior year.
Yeah.
Will Muschamp has reinvigorated the South Carolina faithful. It's a solid year, South Carolina.
Okay.
Clemson playing for a national title as long as the guy Dabo is there. They got a great quarterback coming in, who is one of the best quarterbacks I've seen.
I've seen it. The Ty dude. His last name is Ty.
Now he's a starting quarterback. Who's the starting quarterback now?
Kelly.
And his name's not Todd.
What's his last name?
Texas. Efforting. No, he's not from Texas. This kid's from Georgia. Yeah, this kid's from Georgia. This kid is special. Not like dead ass. Like the most special. And they're both in Georgia.
Okay.
2 very special. I was talking about it during the matchup. Yeah. They're both from Georgia, but he's going to come in. He's going to start day 1. Tell him. Start day 1. This kid, I'm telling you, man. Watch. You're going to be like, that's the kid.
You said it was Joe Montana.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, you
They
said
had Russell Wilson
Yeah.
and Joe Montana in Georgia playing right now. No bullshit, cameraman. I'm telling you, watch. Just watch. We'll see. All right. Oklahoma versus Texas, the Red River Rivalry.
Red River Rivalry.
That's tough to say. It's a quick one.
Yeah.
You got to say it fast.
Nah, I can't say it fast.
Yeah, for sure. This year, Oklahoma won 29-24. Last year, Oklahoma won 45-40. Out of the last 10, Oklahoma's up 7-3. Overall, Texas is up 62-45.
Is it safe to say this is what got Charlie out of there?
This is exactly what Charlie got out of it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He can't lose these. He can't lose these.
Yeah.
The rivalry started in 1901 with the number 1 team, Oklahoma, rolling over number 11 team, Texas, in 2003, which was the biggest blowout in the series history. It's been top 5 showdowns 11 times in the series history, and the last time it happened was 2008 when Texas upset number 1 Oklahoma 45-35. Change the times means they changed his name here. It's a Red River Showdown, Red River Shootout, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a great
River something.
Yeah, and you got young boys like Lincoln Riley, who's the head coach of Oklahoma. You got Tom Herman, who's the head coach of Texas. And it's going to get better. But I think, all the money that they're giving Tom Herman and all the amenities that they gave him, they did not give to Charlie.
You know what I'm saying?
Charlie was, he had his locker room. It looked like Hillsborough Comprehensive High School. And No, it was bad. I mean,
Oh,
it was still, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was still a big Power 5.
Yeah, but it's not what they got now.
They got screens.
There was 32
Come on,
screens in each
man.
locker room. That's
They
crazy.
did Charlie wrong, and Charlie's gonna get a job.
Yeah.
Charlie's gonna get a job. I think Charlie needs to sit out one more year, go down there and cook one more year. I'm telling you, because they're trying to give him that Ole Miss job, and I don't want him to go down there to Ole Miss. Because for the same reason I wouldn't go down there and play football.
Right.
One of those same problems. Shout out to Charlie though, man.
Mm-hmm.
Weezy.
Oh,
USC versus UCLA, the battle for Los Angeles.
right on.
USC won this year 28-23. Last year USC won 36-14.
Yep.
Out of the last 10, USC is 8-2.
Uh-oh.
And overall, USC is up 50-31 with 7 ties.
Right on.
They're 12 miles apart, located in the same city. So it's better for Los Angeles. This is kind of similar to Belmont at a
No, but just the vicinity. Yeah.
vicinity situation.
Yeah.
Belmont and Lipscomb. Started in 1941 when the USC students stole a 295-pound bell from UCLA, which started a series of pranks between the two schools. Now the victory bell is awarded to the school who wins the football game. In 1958, you can tell these are rich kids.
Yeah.
Jeff, check this out. A group of UCLA students rented a helicopter and dumped manure on the USC campus.
Wait.
The plan backfired, however, as the wind from the helicopter's blade ended up sending loads of manure back inside the chopper. In 1989, USC Patriots painted 30,000 crickets red and gold and released them in a UCLA library during finals week.
That's crazy.
Let's just talk about it.
Think about that.
It's well thought out.
That's well thought out. Very rich.
College students
Mhm.
renting a helicopter.
Right.
No sense.
Right.
That's enough sense.
Come on, man.
Not on 2-1-0, man.
Ain't no question. UCLA
No question.
has won had 8 consecutive victories between 91 and 98.
Mhm.
So it's gone back and forth for the last decade. But UCLA now with Chip Kelly, they'll be a little bit more, and they're getting it. Listen,
Got some catching up to do.
UCLA has a quarterback coming in. He's a quarterback right now, Bishop Gorman,
Mhm.
Dariel Robinson.
Mhm.
Listen, Jeff, legit. Nah, legit quarterback. You're getting a legit quarterback.
What's it?
Nah, Chip Kelly got a legit quarterback coming in. Now, of course, they got Sam Darnold now. And, of course, UCLA has Josh Rosen. So it doesn't really matter if they have a good quarterback. They need players.
Players.
They need
UCLA
players.
needs many players.
They need
Speed.
Yeah. They need, like, a lot of players.
Yeah, for Chip Kelly's offense, you need speed. Most definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Florida versus Tennessee.
Uh-oh.
The third Saturday in September.
Yeah. I like his name. I like his name.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, I like
That's
his
very
name.
exciting. This year, Florida won 26-20. I'm happy about that. Now, we won 38-28, my bad.
Yeah.
On the last 10, Florida's won 9. We're 27-20 in this matchup. The first time we met was in 1916. It didn't really catch its steam into the 90s because teams, we got good. We got good in 96 when the boy came in.
Devin Wolf.
Talking
Steve
about
Spurrier.
ball coach.
Yeah.
Talking about the old ball coach.
Yeah, it took out a while. Y'all the little brother in Florida.
Oh, no, for sure, yeah, for sure. It took us a while.
Yeah.
Spurrier came in, got it going.
It's probably
It ain't even a little brother with Florida State, you know. I mean,
little brother of Florida. People.
yeah, well, I'm just saying.
It's Miami, Florida State.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Out of the last, 20 years, we won more championships than y'all.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
How many? I got 3.
We won 2 in the last 20.
So we.
Hey, when was the last time we won
We
one?
won with Jameis. We won the last championship because UT won. We went right back the
99.
next year and beat Vic.
Y'all beat Vic in 2000.
20 years.
Sure did.
Yeah. God dang.
2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
You right about that.
Yeah, I'm out.
We went 3 straight years. We lost to
James.
UT.
Listen, y'all got James.
Okay.
Because it was between Florida, Alabama, and Florida State. And I said, I called Coach Locke. I said, Coach, it's a kid. It's going to Florida State. Kind of similar to I'm talking about these 2 kids in Georgia.
Right.
I said, it's a player. That name's Jameis Winston. It's from Alabama. So Alabama,
Yeah, they had the.
listen.
Boy, when we signed Jameis,
Boy.
I haven't been that excited about a recruit because I knew it was legit. It was like when you saw him, he was like, "This is can't miss." You know what I'm saying? Like, he proved it right fresh out the gate.
Listen, man, Jameis Winston. I saw him and I said, if we can just get him, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because it was
He gonna get you there.
it was after Tebow's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was that dry period for us. We had Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah.
Like,
Shout out to Driscoll.
yeah, we had Jeff Driscoll. You know what I'm saying? But This kid, I'm telling you, like the kid I was talking about, Justin Fields in Georgia. The kid I was talking about, we had a mix up about Trevor Lawrence in Georgia. That's going to Clemson.
Right.
Now listen, this kid, Justin Fields, he can take Fromm job next year. I'm telling you, he that nice.
That's why he's going to Georgia.
He that nice. But both from Georgia kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, the case may be, let's talk about Florida UT. The Tennessee dominated us early in the rivalry, for sure. They won the first 10 games. Then, we did our thing for 11 straight.
That was crazy.
11 straight.
Those were the Peyton years, right? Y'all beat them during the Peyton years.
We beat
Peyton
them.
never
Peyton
beat
never
Florida.
beat them. Yeah, for sure.
T. Martin beat him.
T-Barn, he snuck in and got one. But after that, it was smooth sailing.
Yeah.
But nah, dead ass UT. It's just one of those things. We always find a way to beat them, man. Find a way. Dude, you see how we beat them this year?
Right.
Million-yard pass by quarterback, probably won't even be there next year. Felipe Franks, who's a good kid, just can't play quarterback in the SEC.
Not the SEC.
Yeah,
It's too high.
for sure. But yeah, man.
Trion, Felipe. Trion.
Trion let me down this year.
Trion
Trion didn't even start. He ended up not starting.
Don't start no more.
Nah, man. I'm trying to get a jersey. I believe in Trion.
He didn't start.
He started the first 4 or 5 games.
The last.
No, I'm saying he started the first 4.
Oh yeah,
They
they
got him out of
got him out of it. We got hurt, and then they started winning games with the replacement. And Trion got in there. Trion gonna Trion though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is on Florida State versus Miami.
Yeah,
The
we're
Sunshine
talking.
State rivalry. The battle for the Florida Cup. This year, Miami won 24-20. Last year, Florida State won 20-19.
It's always good games,
Last 10,
Yeah.
Florida State 7-3. Overall, Miami's up 32-30, Jeff. No ties.
Yeah.
They've only been going at it since the early 80s.
Yeah.
Even in the down years, the teams have been relatively relevant, with the FSU finding its way back to the top of the college football world as of late.
Yeah.
70-plus active NFL players went to either FSU or Miami, and that's just insane.
Yeah.
You can literally split the teams up and have a really good game.
Yeah.
In the NFL, for sure.
It's just one of those things, man. Like those kids played against each other in high school.
That's for sure.
Pro,
Oh man,
it's natural hate. It's real hate.
that's real hate.
It's real hate.
It's legitimate
Legit
hate.
hate.
For sure.
That's why I got separated before the game.
Dalvin Cook talked about it because, of course, he was thinking about going between Miami, Florida State.
Okay.
Decided to go to Florida State,
Good choice.
and he said, every year that they played, got a W. So,
It's true. Like I told a couple of people that wanted to say, "Oh, we beat y'all this year." Hey, man, welcome to the 2000s. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get you a W.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah, every dog is an ass. And that's when UT beat us.
Yeah.
You should have seen it.
Yeah,
People
man.
calling me.
Shout out to Spike Lou.
Man,
Spike Lou just all in the text messages, all
man.
on Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
welcome to 2017.
And then the day that they lost, in the same group chat, he says, man,
you gotta get more
Rick out of there. Rick out of there.
What?
Crazy. But, the Sunshine State rivalry has produced
Horrible.
3. That's pretty bad. Has produced 3 of the 5 highest rated college football games in the history of ESPN. The combined programs have went on to win 7 national championships over the past 29 seasons, and only 7 because the loser is always hard pressed to stay in the title hunt after that game.
Yeah.
Of course, you have wide right games 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And you got wide left,
Yeah.
the Miami Muff.
Yeah.
Classic moments through this rivalry for sure, but Florida State having Jimbo, Mark Richt back at the U, it's one of those things where it'll really rekindle it, and I think this is one of those ones that'll go back and forth until you guys get a situation. Do you think that my boy Francois will come back next year? He would have to, right?
No, he'll be back.
He'll be back. I mean,
Y'all don't like him.
he's a sophomore. He's a redshirt sophomore.
No, he's eligible.
He's eligible to leave.
Yeah, but he's not horny.
Nah, he ain't no
Yo,
pro.
That freshman.
He's a pro.
His first year.
DeAndre Francois is a pro quarterback.
But his first year, the stats, the way he played didn't look good enough.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
That's not Jim's guy.
No, that's not his quarterback.
No.
But he likes his kid. He likes his kid.
Like,
You like Black.
yeah. I
And he's not good.
Really?
He's not a good quarterback.
I like him.
He's not better than Francois. You know he's not better than Francois.
Francois, man. Like, y'all don't watch Francois like I watch Francois.
But I can't really say that no more because you said watch Russell Westbrook and then you don't understand this.
No,
I'm just saying.
No.
No, I'm just saying.
No, please.
I can't do
Jeff,
this. No, because Jeff gets he He has his guys.
We're not gonna do that.
And no, I'm asking you a question, seriously.
We're not gonna do that.
And no, I'm asking you a question, seriously. Jeff gets biased when he talks about his guys. Then when his guys,
who have I said anything biased about?
Russell Westbrook.
Oh,
But I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do it. We move on to Ohio State versus Michigan.
What did I say biased?
No.
He
Please.
turns
No.
over the ball every 7.
Please.
Dude, you literally said to me, he had a terrible game.
I said he had a terrible game.
No, what you said was Carmelo Anthony and Paul George had bad shooting nights.
I said no. I said also had bad shooting.
No.
Real, go get the text message.
No. Forget the text message.
Okay.
Ohio State versus Michigan. The game. I don't like that they call it themselves the game.
That's the game.
It's a dope name though, but I like it's arrogant.
It's arrogant.
It's a huge rivalry, dude.
It is a huge rivalry. Yeah, for sure. This year, Ohio State, 31-20. Last year, Ohio State, 30-27. The last 10, Ohio State.
Ooh.
Overall, Michigan's up 58-49 in 6.
When I lived up there, when I lived in Michigan, the week of that game, especially when they first got Harbaugh, that's all that mattered. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like my director would his whole office was Wolverined out.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a Buckeye cut open on his. It was like out of
Intense.
control. It was like, all right, man. I didn't go to the actual game. I went to the tailgate before the game. It was crazy.
It was insane.
Yeah, crazy. So
The first meeting was in 1897. And ultimately, the reason that the world cares about this game is because the schools just actually win. You got 19 national titles, 159 All-Americans, 10 Heisman Trophy winners, 80 conference championships. It's just a bitter rivalry. Buckeyes players receive golden pants if they beat Michigan. The first game that was ever with 100,000 people in attendance was at Ohio State Michigan game in 1957. It took Ohio State 15 seasons to beat Michigan. So if you look at it, Michigan is the big brother to them.
Yeah.
It's just an ass kicking situation. But Ohio State,
it's coming.
Harbaugh ain't never lost. I mean,
Urban is not.
he never lost.
No.
To him.
They won their last 10.
11. He might not
Really?
lose to him.
I dead ass.
Because Urban might lead them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Between this year and next year, I said that Harbaugh was going to beat them. And they have all the tools, they just don't have a damn quarterback. That is the major
It's just the crazy we talked about this
offense.
earlier. It's like, how can he not evaluate a quarterback with him?
I know, right?
That's what he does.
Just get a quarterback. Now, he has Christian McCaffrey's little brother there.
Right.
He's a freshman. He's not ready to play yet.
Yeah.
You have to bring a player in, man. Why not get a transfer? You can get a transfer.
Yeah.
What's his
I
name?
don't like college transfer.
Jacob Eason.
Jacob Eason. Call Jacob Eason.
I'm not a big college transfer guy. I know it works for some people.
It works.
But if
Russ
football-
Wilson.
Yeah, no.
I don't think you should sit out.
Jared Stidham.
That's the thing. The sitting out. The
Oh,
sitting
I
out
see
part of it is the rough part.
They got to fix that for sure.
But you can't though, because if you do that, you got kids jumping ship as soon as they want to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You gotta have that.
They said they're doing a transfer thing that if your grades are at I think they're going to say a 3.0, 3.2, you can transfer without sitting out.
They didn't do that. I see that.
Yeah. So it's kind of, if you stay, within the curriculum of your grades, keeping it at a nice level. What would you say is the bigger between Alabama and Auburn, Michigan, and Ohio State? What's the bigger game?
Alabama, Auburn. I think.
I mean, we live in the South. So
Yeah, living in the South.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How that big that game is up there.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
game.
nah, it's so different, dog.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Alabama, Auburn is
and
serious.
they're not even in the
dog.
same state.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's close. Michigan and Ohio State's close. They're not even in the same state.
No,
they hate each
No,
other.
they hate each other. Nah, listen. The Alabama Auburn shit.
The Iron Bowl. Yeah, the Iron Bowl.
Woo! With Auburn winning this year, 26-14. Last year, Alabama won 30-12. Last 10, Alabama 6-4. It's a closer. There's a chance that Alabama loses every year.
Yeah.
I just don't think that there's not even been a chance of Michigan beating Michigan.
Yesterday.
Ohio State. You see what I'm saying?
That was a chance this week.
And that's just how good that defense is.
Yeah, because they had Ohio State's offense pretty much bottled up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The Iron Bowl started in 1893. It's called the Iron Bowl due to the influence of steel in Birmingham, where the game was played for a majority of the actual rivalry. Alabama did take lead in the Iron Bowl until the 1965 season, despite Auburn's recent success. From 1959 through 1968, Alabama won 8 of the 9 games with a lone victory in 1963 for Auburn. This is the thing about this matchup.
War damn eagle.
They have the
Damn eagle.
the stories that go along
it's
with
crazy.
this. My man did a bid for poisoning the trees.
You know what I'm saying?
That's intense.
It poison the
He's
trees.
still in jail for that.
I think he just got out, man.
The trees, though.
The trees, man. Come
Not
on.
yet, but they will be.
Not, are they dead now? Not yet, but it will be.
That was hilarious.
He said, whoa. You killed so much.
No, seriously, man. Woo.
That's funny, man.
War damn eagle.
War damn Eagles. So, and Auburn wins, the average score is 26-13. And Alabama wins, the average score is 27-9. The average margin for every game is Bama 21, Auburn 16.
Mm.
So, and the games are played in 4 different cities: Birmingham, Auburn, Tuscaloosa, and Montgomery. And Bama pitched 16 shutouts to Auburn's 8. And the last was a 49-0 tied romp in 2012. Yeah, they got their ass kicked. Yeah, and that's when Alabama was in their bag, though.
That when he first opened.
Bumble got your ass. Yeah. So, and Auburn's 2 championships came after Iron Bowl wins.
Yeah.
So, a lot of that time, the championship is predicated off of winning that series, for sure. And the streak ended this year.
Mm-hmm. Streak ended, right?
Yeah, for sure. And last time Auburn's won more than it was 2005. It was 28-18 Jordan Hare. So, if you look at this matchup, out of all these, which one do you think would be the one you would like to play in the most?
Playing?
Honestly,
Playing, yeah.
Go ahead, Weezy. That's a good question.
You see the lady. USC.
That I'm telling you, that seemed like a cool one because that's intense.
That's an
And
LA.
Nothing more intense than Florida State Miami. Like they
Florida State Miami for
literally
sure.
cannot come on the field at the same time.
Yeah, now that's tough.
You know what I'm saying?
Give me Iron Ball.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
That
prime
goes
time.
outside.
Yeah.
That's at night. Usually,
Yeah.
at night, you know what I mean? But, dang, okay, come on me.
Yeah.
But
But that's just one of those things, man. I really do think that this is the number 1 classic rivalry in college football. I think number 2, as the teams, it's been such a bad Michigan, Ohio State, man. I think that
But that's just like Duke, Carolina, though. Even when there's down years, the game is still the game.
Michigan and Ohio State.
Should they bring back Miami, Florida?
I never understood why they got rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of it.
There's a story behind it, but
It is,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
It always is.
But I mean,
It's 2014. They play each other.
Yeah, that's too many.
but
yeah.
but they have there's a championship ring for being the state champion of Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
Like so,
And the only people that can get it is Miami. Well, Florida State gets it every year. I mean, Jimbo made sure that they got one.
yeah.
I'm telling you the one they should bring back. Texas Tech, Texas.
Mm.
That's bigger than Texas Tech. I mean, no, Texas A&M in Texas. I'm sorry.
Mm.
Okay.
Texas
Damn,
A&M,
Texas. Yeah.
That was a big one.
That's a big one, for sure. Let us know what y'all think, man. What's the biggest bitter rivalry in college football? We'll be answering questions on Instagram. Thanks for all the feedback that we got for the retirees Hall of Fame consideration. People upset about
That
that.
was rough on Twitter, man.
Yeah, they were pretty upset. On Twitter, they was upset.
On
IG,
Yeah.
it got a little intense, for sure.
Stay out of that one.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't bad to be for us.
Yeah, and a
For
lot of
once.
your dogs wasn't in that fight. That was the only reason.
For once, because
sure.
usually I'm the one to get, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know.
Now listen, I get it. You know.
Nah, Jay.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
got baptized by fire a few times.
You knew that.
Yes, I'm cool.
For sure.
Cool under pressure.
Let us know what y'all think, man. Most important, man.
Oh, before you do that, are we doing the thing on they did? What is it they did on the show this week? About the ask a question, pass it on. You got to the end of the episode yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll talk about that. My bad, killer.
I got to the end of
Big.
it. You never listen to it.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go that way.
Yeah. Hey, but back to it. Most importantly, don't forget to tell a friend, man.
Tell a friend.
to tell all their friends.
For sure, about that FSP podcast, man. What you got for the week, Weezy?
Man, back to work, man.
Back to work, back to the grind. It's going to be tough getting back to work on
Monday's
Monday.
gonna be some.
Did you have to work on Friday, Jeff?
Man, I had to go in there for a little bit.
Man, your boys,
Yeah.
everybody worked except for Weezy.
Yeah.
I don't work on Friday.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Shout out to you. Talk your talk, dude.
Everybody ain't able, Weezy.
Yeah. They all get tired.
It's early to roll.
For sure. Y'all ready to roll?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Life moves pretty fast. If If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on prior episodes, visit the SoundCloud page. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.